Hey everybody, how's it going? Martin here. I hope you're having a good day. Today I'll talk about a topic that really fascinates me, and that is dreams. We'll explore what they are through various lenses, starting by what scientific theory has to tell us about dreams, and then looking at some Eastern and Western ideas. But first of all, a small introduction to what dreams are. They are a universally occurring phenomenon that happens when humans sleep and it's a state that's qualitatively different from our waking consciousness, as you all know. Dreams, they consist of images, sensations, emotions that happens involuntarily. And now space and time is something that's perceived differently when you're asleep, which is why some dreams may feel really long, when in fact, typically a dream only lasts between 5 and 20 minutes. And during a night, you'll have about 2 hours of dreaming in total. Now, dream interpretation is something that has been important in the past, and it was something that was valued highly already by the Babylonians in the 3rd millennium BC and ancient Sumerians before that. Now, the scientific study of dreaming is called oneirology. This is very different from dream interpretation, as it aims at quantitatively studying the process of dreaming, and it's not concerned with any meaning that the dreams may have. This field of study primarily focuses on the correlation between dreaming and functions of the brain, and also how the brain works during dreaming as it pertains to memory formation and mental disorders. Now, we know that dreaming primarily occurs during REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep, and we also know that there's heavy brain activity in the limbic system and the amygdala during this time. Now, as to the purpose of dreaming, the leading scientific theory is that it helps in consolidating memories and experiences, and that this happens during REM sleep. Now, let's look at some Western ideas on what dreams are, and I'll touch on psychoanalysis and religion. Both Freud and Jung believed that dreams were a meaningful product of unconscious forces in the psyche that had roots in our evolutionary biology. Now, Freud primarily believed that dreams were a function of wish fulfillment, while I think Jung had a more nuanced view. Jung believed that the primary function of dreaming was that of psychological compensation. That is to say that dreams help maintain a dynamic balance between the conscious and the unconscious in the individual. Let's say that the ego becomes too one-sided, or one tries to repress something unconscious. Well, then the dreams would come and illuminate this to help the dreamer become a more integrated individual. He also thought there were other functions of dreaming, such as the prospective function. Now, these are dreams that focus on the growth of the individual along the path towards wholeness and psychological well-being. Jung also found that dreams had a striking similarity to mythological motifs, and this he termed the archetypes. In this case, he put emphasis on big dreams with vivid imagery, and he regarded them as deep unconscious patterns of instinctual meaning and wisdom. Now, the archetypes spring out from the collective unconscious, which is a shared psychic substrate that's super personal, which is present in both you and me. Now, if we look to Judaism and Christianity, we find that dreams may serve as a means of communication between humans and God. And if we look at an important figure like St. Augustine, we find that he valued dreams and dream interpretation very highly. Now, this suggests that dreams are very important in this tradition. Certainly, they have been in the past. Now, let's look to the East, where we'll touch on Hinduism and Taoism. The concept of dreaming is termed Swapna in the Hindu classics, like the Upanishads and the Puranas. And the dream reality is approached in a very systematic way, and there's two viewpoints. The first is that dreaming is an expression of your inner desires, which is very much like Freudian wish fulfillment. And the second is similar to a Chinese belief, which is that the soul leaves the body during dreaming and is being taught up until the moment the person awakens. In the Mandukya Upanishad, there are 4 suggested states of the true self, which is called the Atman. And these are the waking, which is called Jagrath, the dreaming, Svapna, sleeping, Sushupti, and the 4th, a supernatural transcendent state, Turiya. The reality of this pure consciousness, called Turiya, is the real continuous reference and subsists equally during the 3 other states of waking, sleeping, and dreaming. Now, this is really interesting because it means that waking consciousness is not the superior plane of existence in their view, which is completely different from the West, right? And more importantly, they put waking and sleeping planes of existence on the same level, which is also very different from the West, where obviously your waking consciousness is the continuous reference and the most important. Another interesting problem that arises from dreaming is that of epistemological uncertainty. And I think this is very well captured in the famous Taoist parable of the butterfly dream. That is, are you a butterfly dreaming you are a person, or a person dreaming you are a butterfly? More generally, the Taoists believe that dreams were a product of daytime delusions and waking dreams, which is essentially mental agitations and egotistic tendencies towards external objects. Nightmares, they believe, were caused by demons, especially so-called corpse demons that were within one's bodies. To conclude, I think that dreams are a very important phenomena that in our day and age is ignored or shunned. And I think this is a sad thing, because these collective and private motifs that occur in dreams, I think, can be very beneficial for us. That we find these universal patterns in dreams and mythological motifs as shown by psychoanalysis and comparative religion and mythology, I think should serve as a clear indicator of the importance of dreaming. In the West, the clear emphasis is put on waking consciousness, and perhaps we have something to learn from Eastern traditions in this sense. Another interesting and fascinating thing is that dreams are not bound by space and time. Now, what the hell does that mean, and how could that be? I think part of the answer to that can be sought not only in mystical writings, but also from our celebrated physicists, which is that time is but a stubbornly persistent illusion. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.